Success on the internet comes at you like a tsunami, fast, loud, overwhelming, and if you're not careful, it'll wipe you out just as quickly. Every day, creators hit a viral moment and think they've made it, only to be broke 6 months later, burned out, and confused about how it all slipped through their fingers. They had money, then they didn't. They had a platform, then it changed. They had fans until the algorithm decided otherwise. This book had to be written because there's a gap, a dangerous one, between internet fame and real financial freedom. And no one is teaching creators how to bridge that gap in a way that sticks. You're taught how to chase attention, not how to protect what attention brings. And without the right financial literacy, you're not building a business, you're just playing in traffic. Let's be clear, this book isn't for the billion-view unicorns with billion-dollar managers. It's for you, the hard-working, heart-led creator trying to figure out how to turn online momentum into offline security. Because if you don't learn the money game, you will lose. Not because you're not smart, but because the internet doesn't reward consistency, it rewards virality. And virality can't build wealth alone. You have to be intentional. You have to think beyond views. And you have to understand money the same way you understand content, deeply, obsessively, and with a plan. Every piece of content you upload has a hidden cost. Not just the time spent editing, filming, scripting, or responding to comments, but the emotional weight of constantly performing, constantly comparing, and constantly asking, is this enough? You get dopamine when the views rise, and shame when they fall. But here's the kicker. Even when the numbers are up, most creators are still financially insecure. They're fronting like they're rich, but they're renting Airbnbs they can't afford, maxing out credit cards to fund content, and praying that next month's brand deal hits before rents due. That's the secret no one talks about. Behind the smiling thumbnails and million-follower milestones, many creators are in survival mode. They don't feel free. They feel trapped by algorithms, by expectations, by the lifestyle they thought they had to maintain to be taken seriously. Success, when built without financial knowledge, becomes a gilded cage. And one bad month, one canceled sponsorship, one community guideline strike, and that cage collapses. The shift isn't external, it's internal. It's not about how many followers you have. It's about what you do with the money that comes in. A broke viral star sees cash as a reward. A wealthy creator sees it as a resource, a tool to build leverage, safety, and freedom. One lives for the next dopamine hit of a viral reel. The other is building a business that can survive without attention. You don't have to have 1 million followers to build wealth. You don't have to be constantly posting to be successful, but you do need to understand the money you never knew you needed to understand. Most creators think once the money shows up, it'll take care of itself. That's a lie. Without systems, knowledge, and boundaries, money is just noise. It comes in fast, but it leaves faster. Real wealth isn't what hits your PayPal. It's what stays in your life and keeps growing when you're not grinding. Most people grow up without ever being taught how money actually works. Taxes, budgeting, credit, investing, protecting assets, and building a financial cushion. Now drop that person into the chaos of the creator economy. Suddenly, they're earning $10,000 one month, $1,000 the next, and no one's ever told them they need to save 30% for taxes or that LLCs can literally protect them from going bankrupt. This book exists because creators are launching six-figure businesses by accident with no roadmap, and that's not sustainable. You're not just an artist. You're not just entertaining or educating. You're running a business. Whether you realize it or not, money is moving through your hands, and what you do with that money determines whether this lifestyle lasts or fades. It's not about greed, it's about security. It's about mental health. It's about giving your creativity a foundation so it doesn't crumble when life gets hard or the algorithm stops playing nice. You can't control the market, but you can control how prepared you are. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Being Set for Life. Going viral feels like hitting the jackpot. Suddenly, your DMs are full, brand deals are coming in, and your follower count's going up by the second. But here's the truth. Most creators learn the hard way. Viral views don't equal financial security. They don't guarantee longevity, and they don't build a safety net. Views are attention, not assets. One moment you're hot, the next, you're shadow banned. That spike in income feels permanent until you realize the algorithm doesn't owe you anything. And if you built no financial structure during the high, the low will hit like a free fall. Success without strategy is just a moment. Real wealth requires consistency, and consistency requires a plan. This industry runs on uncertainty. One month, you're up $30,000. Next month, crickets. That emotional whiplash, constantly swinging between abundance and scarcity, creates a form of psychological exhaustion that most creators don't talk about. You start tying your self-worth to your numbers, your peace of mind to your income, and it's not just stressful, it's dangerous. You live in a feast and famine cycle where you overcommit during good times and panic during bad ones. Burnout doesn't always come from overworking. It often comes from financial anxiety, especially when you're pretending everything's fine because people expect you to be winning. There's a big difference between making money and keeping it. And there's an even bigger difference between keeping it and growing it. Many creators confuse income with wealth. But high income is just noise if it's not backed by systems, budgeting, saving, investing, and protection. Wealth is what stays with you, works for you, and gives you options. If your money disappears as fast as it comes in, you're not building freedom, you're just surviving louder. Getting paid feels good, but it's temporary. Building wealth? That's what turns a moment into a future. You get your first big check, and suddenly the lifestyle upgrades start pouring in. Better apartment, nicer clothes, top-tier tech, expensive dinners because you think you deserve it now, and maybe you do. But lifestyle inflation is sneaky. It eats your wealth without you noticing. You raise your cost of living to match your income, but when the income dips, the expenses don't. And now, you're stuck maintaining an image that's killing your financial freedom. What once felt like a blessing becomes a burden. If you don't cap lifestyle inflation early, you'll never feel like you have enough, even when you're earning more than ever. Chapter 2. You are not just a creator, you are a business. You're not just making videos. You're building a digital business, even if it doesn't look like one yet. Every post, every stream, every sponsorship, that's revenue-generating work. You're operating at the intersection of marketing, media, entertainment, and entrepreneurship. But if you keep treating this like a hustle instead of a company, you'll miss out on serious money and protection. The moment you accept that you're a business owner, everything shifts. How you handle money, how you negotiate deals, how you protect yourself legally. You go from being at the mercy of trends to controlling your own lane. Your brand isn't just a vibe, it's a valuable asset, one that can be monetized, licensed, sold, or scaled. Every follower, every email subscriber, every person on your live stream has economic value. But most creators never stop to measure or protect that value. You need to know what your brand is worth, not just emotionally, but financially. Because your brand can work for you when you're asleep. It can attract opportunities you didn't even ask for, but only if you start thinking of it as an asset, not just an identity. When your brand becomes part of your net worth, that's when things get real. Chapter 3. Breaking the Scarcity Trap. Most creators didn't grow up in households where financial literacy was normalized. You probably weren't taught about taxes, investing, or the difference between income and assets. You may have watched your parents stress over bills or live paycheck to paycheck. So when money starts flowing into your life quickly, it feels unfamiliar, maybe even uncomfortable. Without role models or financial mentors, you're left trying to figure it out alone. And that silence around money, it becomes a barrier. You avoid financial conversations, delay setting up systems, and hope it all works itself out. It won't. You need to unlearn what scarcity taught you and relearn what abundance requires of you. There's real trauma in sudden success. When you go from broke to booked, from unknown to viral, your nervous system doesn't know what to do with it. It feels unstable, even threatening. You might feel like it's all temporary, like you don't deserve it, or like someone's going to take it away. That mindset keeps you from making bold, smart financial moves. You self-sabotage. You blow money on things that numb the pressure. Or you hoard it in fear instead of letting it grow. The trauma of too much too fast needs to be addressed, because if your mind isn't ready to handle success, your money won't stay around long enough to help you. Many creators secretly feel like they're faking it, that they're one mistake away from being found out, that their success is accidental, not earned. And that imposter syndrome? It shows up in how you manage your money. You don't ask for what you're worth. You delay hiring help. You avoid looking at your numbers because it feels overwhelming or shameful. But here's the truth. Avoiding money is a luxury you can't afford. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be proactive. Owning your finances is part of owning your identity as a successful creator. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being brave enough to look. Chapter 4. Understanding income types in the creator world. When you're a content creator, your income isn't like a 9-to-5 paycheck. It's a messy mix of sources that vary wildly in size, frequency, and stability. That's why understanding the types of income you're earning isn't just helpful, it's survival. Active income is what you work for directly. Sponsored posts, one-off brand deals, freelance gigs, coaching calls. It's fast, direct, and gratifying, but it depends entirely on your time and energy. Passive income, on the other hand, keeps working when you don't. Think royalties from music or videos, affiliate links, digital products, YouTube AdSense, or subscription models like Patreon. Passive income requires strategy up front, but it brings peace of mind later. Then you've got to recognize the difference between one-time deals and evergreen income. That 5-figure sponsorship sounds great until you realize it won't come again. That's one-time money. Evergreen income? It repeats. Maybe it's your digital course that sells every week, or your monetized video that's still making AdSense years later. Evergreen is what keeps you afloat when your content isn't hitting. Treat your income streams like a portfolio. Some need to be chased, some need to be planted, and if you don't know which is which, you're flying blind. Chapter 5. Separating Business and Personal Finances. This is where creators fall hard. Mixing your personal and business finances is a recipe for confusion, tax nightmares, and missed opportunities. The first step? Open a separate business checking account. This isn't optional, it's the foundation of your financial clarity. All brand deals, AdSense, and creator income should flow into that account, not your personal one. From there, you pay yourself like an employee, not like someone just guessing how much to keep. Second, get a business credit card, not to overspend, but to separate and track your business expenses. Camera gear, editing software, travel to events. If it supports the content, it counts. But don't use your personal card for this. It'll only make taxes messier and your cash flow impossible to manage. Lastly, build a system to track income and expenses. Use a spreadsheet, an app, or hire a bookkeeper if you can afford it. But don't rely on checking your bank account to tell you how you're doing. Know where every dollar is coming from, where it's going, and how it's being taxed. Because when you treat your money casually, it leaves casually. Chapter 6. You verse the algorithm. In this world, you don't get a steady paycheck. You get spikes, then silence. That's the reality of algorithm-based income and why your budget has to be anti-fragile. First, acknowledge the no paycheck problem. No one's coming to save you. There's no HR department or guaranteed salary. You have to create your own consistency. That starts with a bare-bones creator budget, and one of the best frameworks for unpredictable income is a modified 50-30-20 rule, adapted for creators, 50% for everyday basic living expenses. And cap this aggressively. No lifestyle inflation. No overcommitting to long-term costs when your income is short-term. 20% for taxes. Yes, now, not later. Set it aside before you do anything else because the IRS does not care if your views tanked. 15% for savings. That's your safety net for personal investing, for income and personal emergencies. 10% for business reinvestment. This is your fuel gear, software, editors, upgrades. 5% for fun. Seriously, don't skip this. Burnout doesn't just come from overworking. It comes from feeling like you can't enjoy your life. Beyond budgeting, you have to master your cash flow. That means knowing what's coming in and what's going out, not just in a month, but across the year. If you know you're getting a lump sum in July, don't overspend in June. This is why cash flow planning isn't optional for creators. If you don't anticipate the dry months, you'll panic, and that panic leads to desperation deals, poor decisions, and creative burnout. Plan like the algorithm owes you nothing, because it doesn't. Chapter 7. Master the game of good credit. Credit isn't just for buying stuff, it's for building leverage. If you want to scale your business, rent a better space, get better loan terms, or even qualify for a mortgage, you need good credit. Creators often avoid credit because they were taught to fear it. But smart credit usage is a tool, not a trap. Keep your utilization below 30%, pay your cards in full and on time, and never co-sign or share access to someone else's credit lines. Consider a secured credit card or business credit builder tool if you're just getting started. And most importantly, understand this: good credit gives you options. It's not about debt, it's about trust. And in the financial world, trust equals opportunity. Chapter 8. Taxes without tears. Here's what gets most creators in trouble. They wait until tax season to think about taxes. That's already too late. The IRS doesn't care that you're new. They care that you made money and didn't pay your share. And unlike employees, no one's withholding your taxes for you. That's on you. You need to understand quarterly taxes. If you make more than $1,000 in profit, you're required to pay taxes quarterly, not just once a year. Missing these can result in penalties, interest, and stress you didn't ask for. Set calendar reminders, automate payments if you can, and always consult a tax professional when in doubt. Then there's the power of deductions and write-offs. This is where you save. You can deduct anything that's ordinary and necessary for your business, gear, home office space, editing software, travel for shoots, website hosting, and marketing expenses. But be careful, not everything is a write-off. Personal clothes, everyday meals, or buying a new phone just because won't cut it unless they're clearly tied to business use. Keep receipts, log everything, and never try to game the system. The IRS audits creators now more than ever. What you need is a tax system that saves you, not one that surprises you. That means tracking income and expenses every month, keeping a separate business account, working with a CPA or tax advisor, and knowing your categories. Don't let taxes be the reason you burn out, go broke, or lose everything you've built. The more you grow, the more you owe, and the more you need to prepare. Chapter 9. Legal structures to save you from yourself. When you start making money as a creator, the worst thing you can do is keep operating like you're just a YouTuber or just an influencer. That mindset might work when you're earning a few $100 here and there, but once the money becomes real, your legal setup needs to be real too. Enter legal structures. This isn't just about taxes, it's about protecting your future. Let's start with the basics. A sole proprietor is the default if you've never set anything up. It's easy, but dangerous, because you and your business are legally the same. If someone sues your brand, they can come after your personal assets, your house, your car, your savings. That's where an LLC comes in. A limited liability company separates you from your business. It's like putting a legal wall between your content and your personal life. If something goes wrong, copyright strike, legal dispute, platform drama, your personal assets stay protected. Then there's the S Corp, which is ideal if you're consistently earning six figures or more. It offers major tax benefits through something called pass-through taxation, where you can pay yourself a salary and save on self-employment taxes. But it's more complex, so don't rush it until the money makes sense. Lastly, a DBA, doing business as, isn't a structure, it's just a name. It doesn't protect you legally. It just lets you operate under a brand name. It's not enough by itself. If you're still blending personal and business income in one account or running deals through your personal name, stop now. A single contract, copyright claim, or client dispute could wipe you out. Don't let the casual nature of content creation fool you. This is business. Treat it like one, or it'll eventually treat you like a liability. Chapter 10. Emergency funds and safety nets. Let's talk about something no one wants to think about, the crash. Because it's not if, it's when. You could lose monetization. You could get banned. Algorithms change, platforms glitch, and accounts get hacked. And suddenly, your entire income stream is gone. That's why you must have an emergency fund specifically designed for creators. You're one YouTube strike, one TikTok shadow ban, one Instagram hack away from waking up to zero. So, how do you survive that? You build a runway. At minimum, save 3 to 6 months of core living expenses, not your lifestyle luxuries, but your bare-bones survival number. This gives you breathing room. It buys you time to pivot, rebuild, or create on a different platform without panicking. And it's not just about money, it's about mental health. The emotional pressure of content creation is real. One bad month and your self-worth gets tied to your income. One viral flop and your confidence disappears. A safety net isn't just financial, it's psychological. When you know you've got a cushion, you don't create from fear, you create from clarity. And that shift changes everything. So whether you call it an emergency fund, a freedom fund, or your algorithm armor, just make sure it exists. Because burnout, bans, and breakdowns don't wait until you're ready. They show up unannounced. Be prepared. Chapter 11. Insurance for the Digital Age. Here's something most creators completely overlook until it's too late. Insurance. Because when you go independent, you are the business. And if something happens to you, physically, mentally, or digitally, your income stops. So let's break down the 3 types of insurance every serious creator needs to consider. First up, health insurance. If you're self-employed, you don't get coverage from a company. And one ER visit can wipe out your savings faster than any bad investment. Whether it's through the marketplace, a freelancer union, or private providers, you need coverage. Even a high deductible plan is better than nothing. Don't gamble with your health. It's your number one asset. Next, business insurance. Yes, this is a thing. You can get coverage for content liability, live stream mishaps, equipment damage, and even protection from lawsuits related to your videos or posts. If you're working with brands, clients, or large audiences, this protection matters. It's especially important if you produce physical products, run paid communities, or film in public spaces. Finally, we've entered the age of digital theft and content protection. Your ideas, your footage, your accounts, all of that is vulnerable. You need strong passwords, two-factor authentication on every platform, and a plan if your accounts are compromised. Beyond that, keep backups of your content. Own your email list. Own your domain. And consider copyright registration for high-value content. Because once your digital identity is gone, it's a long road back, and not everyone survives it. In the creator economy, protection isn't optional. It's part of the job. If you're building something worth having, it's worth defending. Chapter 12. Investing 101 for Creators. Here's the hard truth. If you're just sitting on your cash, you're already losing money. Inflation is quietly eating away at your income every single day. That viral video money sitting in your checking account, it's shrinking in value with every month that passes. And while creators are great at making money, very few know how to grow it. So, where do you start? Not with hype, not with NFTs, crypto drops, or guaranteed Telegram investments. You start with foundations. Begin by setting up a high-yield savings account for your short-term goals and emergency fund. It won't make you rich, but it's a smart holding zone. Then, move into a brokerage account where you can buy index funds, low-cost, diversified baskets of the stock market. Think of them as the set-it-and-forget-it way to build long-term wealth. As your income grows, explore dividend stocks, which pay you regularly just for owning them. And if you're serious about wealth, real estate is another lane. Whether it's physical property or REITs, real estate investment trusts, you can invest in through apps. The point is, put your money to work while you're still young and building. Compound interest doesn't care if you're a creator or an accountant. It works the same for everyone. The key here is understanding your risk tolerance. Don't gamble with money you can't afford to lose. Build your portfolio around what you need, not what's trending. Your goal isn't to get rich overnight, it's to stay wealthy forever. That's the real game. Chapter 13. Retirement as a Creator. Most creators think retirement is something for people in cubicles with 401k and company badges. But here's the reality. You don't have a boss who's going to take care of your future. No pension, no employer match. It's all on you. That means retirement isn't optional, it's your personal responsibility. Let's break it down. First, you've got the Roth IRA. It's one of the best tools for creators under 40. You invest post-tax money now and then never pay taxes on it again, even when it grows into 6 or 7 figures. That's huge. Then there's the Solo 401k, designed for self-employed people like you. It lets you contribute as both an employee and employer, meaning massive tax advantages and a higher contribution limit. If you're making strong money, this is a power move. The SEP IRA is another simple option with low paperwork and great tax benefits. The truth is, even if you're 25 and earning more than most of your peers, it won't last forever unless you make it last. Your body might get tired. Platforms will change. Algorithms will shift. But if you're building a retirement plan now, you won't have to rely on brand deals at 65. Long-term wealth means freedom, not just to stop working, but to create purely from passion, not panic. So take retirement seriously. It's not boring. It's not for later. It's the ultimate flex to build a future no algorithm can cancel. Chapter 14. Building wealth through ownership. Making content is one thing. Owning what that content creates, that's how wealth is built. The most powerful thing you can do as a creator is to stop thinking like an influencer and start thinking like an owner. Start with equity in your own brand. That means owning your name, your logo, your content, and your intellectual property. Don't give away long-term rights for short-term checks. That viral course, that book, that digital product, own it. Every email you collect, every subscriber list you build, every domain name, these are assets. You don't just have fans, you have a business. Treat your audience like the foundation of your empire. Next, as you grow, consider investing in others. You can become a silent partner in a friend's startup, a local business, or a small online company you believe in. Instead of only spending your money, start multiplying it by taking small equity positions in ventures you trust. Some creators eventually invest in other creators, offering funding in exchange for a cut of their future brand revenue. That's how you evolve from influencer to investor. And most importantly, learn to turn your audience into an asset. Don't just entertain, educate, don't just post, build. A newsletter, a podcast, a product, a membership, these are platforms you own. They move with you across platforms, through algorithm changes, even into entirely new industries. That's how you turn short-term attention into a long-term legacy. Ownership is wealth. Build it now while the spotlight's on you, so even when the light fades, your empire stays. Chapter 15. Never rely on one platform. Let's be honest. The platform you're building your entire career on today might not exist next year. TikTok? It's already been under threat of being banned in multiple countries. Instagram's algorithm changes weekly. YouTube ad rates fluctuate like crypto prices. If you're putting 100% of your energy into one platform, you're not building a business, you're renting your entire career from someone else. That's dangerous. This is what's called platform dependency, and it's one of the biggest silent threats to creators. You don't own your audience, you're borrowing it. A single policy update, a shadow ban, a copyright strike, or a shift in the algorithm could cut your reach by 80% overnight. And if your income is tied to that reach, you're in trouble. That's why you need to build a diversified income ecosystem. You want streams coming from everywhere: content, courses, consulting, affiliates, sponsorships, merchandise, licensing, speaking gigs, investments. Think of each stream like a branch on a tree. If one gets cut, the rest still stand. This is how creators become immortal, not in virality, but in stability. Chapter 16. Create scalable products. If you're answering the same DMs over and over again, what camera do you use? How did you grow so fast? How do you edit your videos? You already have a digital product inside you. That knowledge you're giving away for free could become an ebook, a template pack, or a course, something people want to pay for because they see you as the shortcut to what they're trying to achieve. Digital products are powerful because they scale without trading your time for money. You build it once, and it sells forever. That 45-minute course you made in your bedroom at 2 a.m.? It could pay your rent for the next 6 months. And the best part? It's yours. No algorithm needed. You own the customer list, the checkout, the delivery. You don't need a manager, you need a system. And here's the real kicker. You don't need to be a guru. You just need to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the person buying from you. That's it. Teach what you know. Package your process. Create digital assets that pay you over and over again, even while you sleep or take time off. That's not just passive income, it's creator freedom. Chapter 17. Licensing and brand deals. Selling merch isn't about slapping your logo on a t-shirt. It's about extending your brand into something tangible your audience can wear, use, or display. But too many creators rush into it with cheap suppliers and poor margins, then wonder why it fails. If you want to do it right, you need to own your supply chain, or at least understand it. That means sourcing quality, controlling design, and negotiating deals that don't just benefit the middleman. When it comes to brand deals, here's the uncomfortable truth. Most creators are getting underpaid and overused. Sponsorship contracts are full of traps, usage rights, exclusivity clauses, and perpetual licensing. A brand might pay you $5,000 for a video, then run your face in ads for years without another dime to you. That's not a partnership. That's exploitation. Learn how to negotiate like a pro. Know your worth, read your contracts, and don't be afraid to walk away. Then there's the overlooked gold mine, content licensing. Did your clip go viral? You can license that to media companies, networks, apps, and brands over and over again. You don't even need millions of views, just quality, unique, or niche content that others want to use. Some creators make thousands a month licensing their past content to stock sites, documentaries, or corporate ads. This is where you move from hustle to harvest. You're no longer chasing dollars, you're collecting dividends from your own creative empire. Chapter 18. The Creator Budget Blueprint. When you're a creator, money doesn't come in like a paycheck. It comes in waves, $10,000 one month, $800 the next. And without a system in place, most creators treat their finances like a guessing game. That's where the Creator Budget Blueprint comes in. It's about taking the chaos and turning it into clarity. Start by automating your finances. Automate your savings. Automate your tax transfers. Automate your payments to yourself and to your business accounts. Don't leave it to willpower. The less emotion involved, the more consistent your system becomes. Then apply the profit first method, but tweak it for creator life. Before you spend $1, take your profit. That means you get paid first, not your rent, not your equipment, not your email marketing tool. Set aside your owner's pay, your taxes, and your profit. The rest goes to operations. Most creators bleed money because they run their business like a fan club instead of a company. But when you pay yourself like a boss, everything changes. You stop waiting for the next brand deal to survive, and you start running your content like an empire. Chapter 19. Your first financial team. You're not just a solo artist anymore, you're a business. And if you try to manage everything yourself, especially your money, you're not being scrappy, you're being reckless. That's why your first real hires shouldn't just be editors or thumbnail designers. They should be financial professionals who help protect, grow, and structure your income. Start with a bookkeeper, yes, even before you think you need one. They'll save you from making messy mistakes you won't notice until tax season destroys you. Then, get an accountant who understands digital income, not someone who still thinks YouTubers are playing games online. Look for a financial advisor who's a fiduciary, meaning they're legally required to act in your best interest. And don't forget a lawyer who can review contracts, defend your content rights, and protect your intellectual property. But here's the trap. There are people out there who see creators as walking dollar signs. Learn how to vet people. Don't just go with someone who name drops clients. They need to understand your business model. Ask for case studies. Ask about the creators they've helped. Ask how they get paid. If they get rich from you instead of with you, it's a red flag. Finally, understand the power of delegation. You are not supposed to do everything. Your time should be spent where your genius is. Delegate bookkeeping, contracts, outreach, and even content repurposing. Free up your time to focus on what only you can do, create, lead, and grow. Chapter 20. Keeping it when you make it. Making money is exciting, but keeping it is where real power lives. And unfortunately, most creators only learn this lesson the hard way. They make 6 or 7 figures in a year, and within months, it's gone. Why? Because they didn't know how to protect it from themselves or from others. You have to learn how to avoid financial predators, people who slide into your DMs with fake crypto deals, shady business offers, or contracts full of traps. And it's not always strangers. Sometimes it's the manager who takes too much, the friend-turned-employee who mismanages funds, or the partner who doesn't understand financial boundaries. Wealth attracts attention, and not all of it is good. Take time to learn from other creators who lost everything, not to scare you, but to protect you. There are influencers who made millions and filed for bankruptcy, who trusted the wrong money guy and lost their savings, who thought the income would never stop and spend like it wouldn't. They're not stupid, they were just unprepared. You won't be. And then there's the most overlooked part, the psychology of wealth. Having money changes how people treat you and how you see yourself. If you grew up without it, you might feel guilty. If you've never had structure, you might self-sabotage. That's why wealth isn't just about money, it's about emotional maturity. You have to believe you're worthy of keeping it. You have to give yourself permission to hold on to success, to build real stability, to stop living on edge. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of going viral if your finances crash before your next upload? Chapter 21. Creator Freedom Equals Financial Freedom. Most creators didn't get into this game to work harder than they did in a 9 to 5, but that's exactly what happens. The pressure to post, to perform, to chase the next trend, it can turn your dream into a digital hamster wheel. That's why real creator freedom comes down to one thing: financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about getting paid. It's about building money that works while you sleep through investments, assets, and income streams that don't rely on your face being on camera every day. It's waking up knowing that even if you took a week or a month off, the bills are paid, the business still runs, and your wealth keeps growing. But to get there, you need to define your version of success, not the one the internet sells you, not the one that says hustle harder, work until you're burned out, or that only Lamborghinis mean you've made it. Maybe your version of success is living simply, spending time with your family, or building schools in your hometown. Whatever it is, define it, own it. Otherwise, the algorithm will define success for you, and it will never let you rest. The truth is, the idea that you always have to hustle is a lie. The myth of always hustling will kill your creativity. You weren't born to grind forever. You were born to create something meaningful and then build the structure that lets it support you, not suffocate you. Chapter 22. Building a Legacy Brand. There's a big difference between being famous online and owning a legacy brand. Popularity fades, algorithms change. But ownership? That's power. That's what turns your moment into a movement. It starts with asking yourself, do you just have influence or do you have ownership? Influence gets you deals and clicks. Ownership gets you equity, licensing rights, royalties, and resale value. One makes you money right now. The other builds wealth long after the likes stop coming in. That's the power of brand equity, the value of your name, your voice, your reputation. It's the difference between being a creator and being a business. And it grows over time. Every decision you make, what you endorse, what you post, what you create, either builds that equity or chips away at it. Building a legacy brand means playing the long game. It means turning a viral moment into a platform that can survive without your constant presence. It means creating systems, products, IP, and opportunities that outlive you. It means shifting your mindset from how can I go viral to how can I build something I can sell, scale, or pass down? Fame is noisy. Fortune is quiet. Freedom is generational. The goal isn't just to be everywhere, it's to be remembered for what you built when you're not. Chapter 23. When the Spotlight Fades. Here's a hard truth most creators avoid talking about. The spotlight doesn't last forever. Algorithms move on. Audiences shift, burnout hits. And if you've tied your entire identity and income to being on, then what happens when you're not? That's why smart creators ask the question now: what's my exit strategy? What happens after I stop creating? Do I have something to sell? Do I have assets that grow even when I step away? For some, it means selling your business or brand, turning years of content, email lists, product lines, and digital infrastructure into a multi-million-dollar exit. For others, it means licensing content, franchising ideas, or stepping into roles where they no longer need to be the face, just the brain behind it all. But there's even more power in becoming an investor, a mentor, or a media mogul. You've learned the game. Now you can help others play it and get paid to do so. You can fund smaller creators, launch new platforms, consult brands, write books, build agencies. You don't have to stay stuck in the spotlight to stay relevant. Legacy means knowing when to pivot, not just when to post. It means walking away from content creation without walking away from impact. It means building a life where money works, your voice matters, and your story continues, even if you're not uploading every day. Chapter 24. Mental Health Costs Money. Let's face it, the hustle is real. The pressure to keep posting, to keep growing, to maintain your brand presence, it never stops. But what no one tells you is that mental health costs money. When you're operating on fumes, the toll it takes on your mind, body, and business is more expensive than you think. Stress, anxiety, burnout, they don't just hurt your happiness, they affect your financial well-being too. Think about it. When you're mentally exhausted, your creativity suffers. Your decision-making is clouded. You start making decisions out of desperation, posting content you don't care about, signing deals that don't align with your brand, burning bridges with partners because you're too stressed to communicate well. All of this can lead to long-term financial consequences. A mentally drained creator is a creator who can't show up consistently, who misses opportunities, or who might even burn out completely. But the cost is bigger than just missed content. It's missed investments, poorly executed collaborations, or even ignoring opportunities to scale. So what do? You take care of your mental health as part of your business strategy. Prioritize it like you would any revenue stream. Invest in therapy, work-life balance, or even just a day off. Have systems in place that help manage your workload. Trust me, a calm, well-rested creator is a much more effective creator, and that effectiveness translates into better financial outcomes. Never forget that your mental health is your greatest asset, and protecting it will pay off exponentially. Chapter 25. Digital Detox for Financial Clarity. In the age of constant notifications, endless scrolling, and algorithm-driven distractions, a digital detox isn't just good for your well-being. It's essential for your financial clarity. Think about it. How much time do you waste chasing trends, comparing yourself to others, or falling into the trap of social media validation? It adds up, and not just in terms of wasted time, but also in lost opportunities. A digital detox is about creating boundaries, taking a break from the digital noise, and refocusing your energy on things that truly matter. When you step away from the screen, you get clarity. You get to focus on your long-term goals instead of reacting to every new platform update or influencer trend. You get space to evaluate where your money is going and how you can make smarter, more intentional financial decisions. Take time off to really assess your financial goals. Are you moving in the right direction? Are your income streams diversified enough? Have you been focusing on the right investments? Without a digital detox, you risk falling into the trap of letting external factors control your money mindset. Disconnecting to reconnect, that's the power of a digital detox. Whether it's a weekend or a week, when you step back, you can reconnect with what you really want from your business. You'll have more clarity on your priorities and be able to put your energy into the financial systems that will build lasting wealth instead of just chasing the next viral trend. Have a financial action plan for 12 months or quarterly. Every creator, no matter how successful, needs a financial action plan. The reality is that success doesn't just happen by accident, it's the result of intentional planning and execution. But here's the key: the best plans aren't static. They need to be fluid and adaptable to the changes that inevitably come. That's why you need a 12-month or quarterly financial plan that allows you to adjust based on new opportunities, challenges, and growth. Your financial action plan should map out clear goals like saving for taxes, reinvesting in your business, or planning for retirement. It should also break down where your money is going on a regular basis: monthly expenses, business costs, growth funds, emergency savings, and yes, fun money, because you do need balance. Then, evaluate your revenue streams too. Are you still relying on one platform, or have you diversified? Are you investing your income properly or just holding on to cash? Quarterly reviews allow you to assess how well your plan is working, see if you need to adjust any budgets or reallocate funds to different projects. A 12-month action plan gives you a long-term view so you can be prepared for taxes, big investments, or slow seasons. The best part? By breaking it into smaller chunks, it feels much more achievable than setting one massive goal at the start of the year. That way, you stay on track, stay flexible, and stay motivated. Financial freedom doesn't come from just hoping it works out. It comes from intentionally steering the ship, even when the waves get rough. So, whether it's planning quarterly or annually, make sure your financial action plan keeps you aligned with your goals and helps you set new ones. This was the short, no fluff, straight to the point version of the financial literacy for online content creators. If you've made it this far, you already know. Going viral is not the same as getting wealthy. If you're a creator, influencer, streamer, or digital entrepreneur trying to turn your talent into a real financial foundation, this is your wake-up call. Viral views mean nothing if you don't know how to manage, protect, and grow the money behind them. You can't afford to wing it anymore. It's about building something that lasts, something that pays you, protects you, and frees you. What you've just listened to was a condensed, rapid-fire version of a much more detailed and in-depth financial literacy guide. So if you want the full version of the book, step-by-step instructions, and deeper insights into everything we covered, the ebook downloadable version is available in the link below in the description. But if you would like a Kindle or a physical copy, the book will be available on Amazon to purchase at day anytime. You'll get the complete roadmap to go from just creating to actually building freedom through your content. Creators who treat this like a business win. The ones who learn the game and play it well keep their money long after the spotlight fades. Seriously, don't just consume and live from AdSense to AdSense. So, build, protect, and grow. Take care of your money, and most of all, take care of you.